New Orleans, you're suddenly in the possible path of what will become Hurricane Francine in the next few hours. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Let's take a look at this report. This will be a combined agriculture and tropical update from Weather 2020. We do a Weather 2020 intelligence report. You can go to weather2020.substack.com and become a member if you want. All right, there it is. Look at that. I'll show that to you in just a second, but let me start from the beginning. And intensifying Hurricane Francine tops the weather news this week. Here is the Corn Belt, and you can see the forecast for the next 15 days. All of a sudden, 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 4 inches of rain is possible. So it's interesting. More on that in a minute. And then there's that path of Hurricane Francine. The latest GFS model intensifies it to a Category 1 to Category 2 hurricane as it makes landfall southwest of New Orleans, but awfully close to New Orleans. Look at that. So this is the latest data. It still may go left or right of this position, and this is valid at 8 p.m. Wednesday. Look at that system right there, 8 p.m. Wednesday. All right, the latest data shows that it's going to be weakening to Category 1 as it heads towards Baton Rouge and makes landfall somewhere between Lafayette and New Orleans. This is the likely path. Remember, this has been moving a little bit off to the east gradually, as you can see there, as Hurricane Francine targets Louisiana. There's another one forming in the Atlantic. Both of these predicted by the LRC 6 months ago. We thought there would be one in the Gulf and one off the coast of Africa. And we don't just pick and choose. It's based on sound science, and I can show you. But basically, this one's going to probably become Gordon in the Atlantic, and this one Francine. This is the accumulated cyclone energy chart. When you see a spike, that is Hurricane Beryl, a major hurricane that went way above average on activity. And all the other forecasters thought, oh, here we go with an active season. We knew it would flatline, and it didn't flatline again. There's Debbie, there's Ernesto, and now Francine is going to go up with about the average. These are the organizations, private companies, universities, government agencies, including Weather 2020 here, that are tracked by the Barcelona Supercomputing Center site. All these forecasts of the hyperactive season and ours. Looks like the outlier, the lowest one, but that is going to come through as the most accurate for the third year in a row. And we don't just predict the seasonal forecast, we predict where and when they'll happen. And Alberto Beryl, Debbie Ernesto Francine, and the next one Gordon, all predicted by the LRC months in advance. We're having our best year we've ever had. So very interesting. But those are the names. The next one is Gordon, then Helene after that. 14 to 19 named storms was our forecast. We've had 6, so that's a little bit below average so far. 7 to 10 hurricanes, there have been 4, a little bit above average. 4 to 5 major hurricanes, only 1, that Beryl one. And our prediction of 125 to 175 ACE, we expect all these to verify with perhaps not the number of major hurricanes from Weather 2020. The jet stream is strengthening. What happens, the jet stream is caused by temperature contrast. And as fall approaches and we go through fall into winter, that temperature contrast increases. All of a sudden it's 40 below up there in northern Canada and 90 near the Mexican border. And that causes the jet stream to increase. So the pattern is changing. Right now it's strengthening. The LRC is a centerpiece of the big atmospheric jigsaw. There's lots of other pieces, but the LRC should be the first thing considered for your winter forecast, for your severe weather outbreak forecast, for your hurricane forecast. And we bring that to you from Weather 2020. There are 4 core principles, but basically the weather pattern is cycling regularly, and we have cracked the code of weather forecasting. We are in the 8th cycle of this year's pattern. As soon as it gets to October, we'll go back and a brand new pattern will set up. We are still in the pattern now that set up last October and November, and I can clearly show you. But a unique pattern will set up here in 3 to 4 weeks. Here is the latest rainfall forecast from the GFS model that showed that little farther east trend and shows New Orleans in 3 to 6 inches, 8 inches of rain possible, and some spots could get 10 inches of rain or more. Last week, I showed you this with the whole Corn Belt drying out. However, 7 days later, look at the latest data. all of a sudden there's widespread 1 inch to maybe up to 4 inch amounts on the trend of the models. That's in the next 15 days through September the 25th through the Corn Belt, as you can see here. I know we got harvest underway and you don't want wet conditions, but there may be some rain delays in the next 2 weeks. And the European AI model shows the same thing. So there is the 1 to 3 inches widespread. Again, the latest data is showing this hurricane coming in as of 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, when it should make landfall. Somewhere tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening is the most likely time for landfall as well. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Thank you for watching this tropical update. And you can see that we do have some very interesting weather for sure. The next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be fascinating because the new LRC is going to start showing up. We'll share that with you right here at weather2020.substack.com. So join that, or you can watch us on the YouTube channel. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak.